What's up, guys? It's Cray, my first official video. The camera is gonna be moving because I literally forgot my tripod. This is like kind of just on the whim. I really have been like encouraged and moved to try to start my channel again. I feel like I've always wanted to be a YouTuber since I was little, but two of my favorite YouTubers currently are Prophetic Pondering, shout out to him, and Grits and Eggs. I really love these two people because it's just kind of like my duality in the sense that like Profound Pondering is my depth. Like I love to think deeply. I love to like explore mental and spiritual realms and like really just piecing things together. I love his psychology and the way that he applies a lot of things. I also really love, I'm like hyper fixated on like Grits and Eggs right now because I've never really seen someone show up and be pro-black the way that Deontay Kyle is. And I really love that, especially for our people like in Atlanta. I know that Atlanta is like a very big pro-black place, but it's not always giving that. And I want to like say that as somebody who used to live in Atlanta, it's a lot of toxic behaviors there. I feel like a lot of people are aware of what has happened to our people, but it's still like the South, and they're still not the most educated. And so I say all of that to say that like when it comes to Grits and Eggs, like he does a great job of articulating himself. He always researches topics so that he is well informed and that he's just not spewing misinformation, right? And he be popping his shit. Like he be coming after Trump. He be saying the necessary things, you know. All in all, is to say, um, these people have definitely been helping shape and motivate me into this next phase of my life as I go into being more vulnerable and go into being more vulnerable and just like really become invisible. I've never really liked being like visible, perceived. Like I don't like the idea of people making up stories that I can't, kind of defend. And that's something that like really hindered me for a long time from like making new relationships. But within the last 5, 6 months of this new year, I've been more intentional about my new friendships and who and how I talk to people, and it's going great. Like, I would be a fool to not tell you that it's working out. Um, I more so reminisce who I used to be, like, more so before my mom passed away, but definitely, like, in 2023, I was starting to gain some footing for myself. And that was before I really settled down into a relationship with my ex. And I said that to say that, like, we go through these highs and lows. Like, life is not, like, one straight path. You never know where it's going to take you, right? But I do ponder on her a lot because I feel like that was one of the times was my most confident. It was when I felt like I can do this. Like, if you, my bad. If you don't know, my mom passed away in 2021. It's so hard for me to remember sometimes. I think it's 2022 because it's not even that long ago, but it's like the further away I get from it, the further it feels and more surreal, right? But so yeah, my mom passed away August 14th, 2022. Crazy shit, right? And somebody that I thought I'd have like my whole life gone. Um, and after I didn't think that I would like reacclimate to life very well. And even now, like as I am reacclimating to my life, it feels scary because I know what happened the last time, right? And that's not to say that I'm creating that as my reality. It's just to say that like I acknowledge it and I don't want to fall victim to it ever again. So why I'm like, what are you talking about? Why are you talking about this? I'm really wanting to talk to you guys about just like personal freedom, development, whatever like that, because like the famous thing that people like to say is nobody's coming to save you. We know that nobody's coming to save you. But the reason nobody's coming to save you is because you have you have the keys, you have the tools, you have the solutions, but you just have yet to apply them. And I think it's very normalized in our culture in America, right? Because America sells you so many solutions. It's normalized for us to just kind of ignore our problems and like, what's the word I'm looking for? Yeah, like find distractions or find things other to fill our time. And it's way easier when we live in a culture that we sell our time for money. I think that's one of the like most toxic things that has become of our natural world, is that we have to sell our time for money. Um, and that's not to say I don't believe in productivity and like people like creating and changing the world. I truly do believe everybody is here for a reason, and that's part of the reason I wanted to make this video, is because it's like I don't know who I might influence, and you don't know who you're not. You don't know who you're not helping by not becoming who you are. It's almost like your right to human, your duty to human race, to step into your full potential, because you don't know who you might heal through that. So I just feel like yeah, we're all going through this, especially like in the in the way of the world currently. I feel like I was one of those people who was like, y'all, they talking about Project 2025. I didn't read the whole thing, but y'all might want to be aware. And it's like the more things that are being revealed to us on like a daily basis, it's like, okay, that makes sense. Like that makes sense as to why our votes damn near do not matter, because anyway, it's that old world of things is falling. And so it's like you either got to get right or get left. I feel like we've known it, like we haven't known that it was a veil, but we now know it was a veil that was very heavy on our spiritual foresight. And I even was talking to a mutual yesterday. She was telling me about how it feels to be in Africa and walking in Africa. And I can only imagine, because she was saying it feels like the veil is thinner. It doesn't feel like you're more in tune with your spiritual self and your intuition. It doesn't feel so like delirious, or you don't always have people like telling you to second guess yourself and not to trust your intuition. So I feel like that I feel like I might have got off point. But I also just watched this video where this guy, he was working for Frito Lay for like years, working for this company, right? For like, I think he said 2011, so that's 15 years of working for that company. And as soon as he got injured, they left him at the doormat. And that's why I've personally been such a huge advocate for people to stop looking for jobs. Like, I feel like I still too often hear people talking about their struggle to find a new job or to like get a job, and I'm like, it's because you're looking for a job. Stop looking for a job. You were made to create. I feel like one of the biggest illusions that we were given is that like we don't have the worth or purpose to just receive. Like we have to, like, what's the term that people use, like the bootstraps, or like you gotta work hard and get it out the mud. But it's like not necessarily. Like you were created, and creation honors you and provides for you. So why is everything so hard? That's I love, like, I love the conversation I had with my friend yesterday. And I that's what I mean. Like I've only met her the beginning of this year, maybe like in February. And we've hung out like 3 or so times. And that's somebody who I can truly say has made an effort to be in my life. And I think that's a very, like, it's, for me, I take that very deep. Like, I don't take that for granted. Like, when somebody takes the time to make time for me, like, I love you forever. Because I feel like, especially in my life, that doesn't happen often. But as I was saying, I only met her this year, and we've had these like amazing spiritual, philosophical, like, and all those kind of like deep conversations. And so, as we were talking the other day, That's was like, I forgot where I was even going because we talked about so much, um, mostly about like just the systems and how they keep Black American Black Americans in that rat race. Oh, survival mode. We were talking about how like we talked to. I'm like, I doubt you can hear it, but I can't hear myself because whatever. Survival mode. We were talking about like people we know in survival mode who essentially like we feel like they're choosing it because it's like how many conversations are we gonna have about the same problem until you realize that it's a problem and look for a solution to it. Because also I feel like I'm one of those people who I'm very blunt and straightforward with my friends, so I'm like, okay, like this is what the fuck you need to do, like you're like grow up. And I have to be honest with myself in saying that like not everybody can handle that harshness, when it comes to like the tough love, I guess. Um, and that's not to say that I mean to be like that. Like sometimes genuinely like spirit does take over and just be like, girl, what the fuck you talking about? That sounds like bullshit. Wrap this shit up. You know what I'm trying to say? Like I've never had too much leeway for consistent bullshit. My friends and family know you can only come to me with a problem 2 or 3 times before I'm over it and it's cooked. Because why is it still a reoccurring thing, a reoccurring theme? And so now when we're talking about the topic of suffering, it's like you're choosing that because it's a mindset, and you lack to realize what pieces um, play into each other. And an example of that would even just be like, I can't find a job. Consistently saying that and putting that into the universe, no, you're never going to find a job, or let alone a job that you deserve. And that's what it is. Like, we were talking about how stubborn Aries are, because I personally do feel like Aries are stubborn in the sense of like, you can't tell me nothing, I just got to figure it out myself. Me? Tell me. I don't want to be 25, 30 figuring this shit out when I've had four generations of people before me saying, "Hey, I wouldn't go like I've done it like that. I probably wouldn't do it like this." Even still, taking advice from people who you don't want to be in their position. Why are you taking advice from somebody like look at their life and they're telling you what to do? I think that's just like I don't always say these things in the best way. And that's once again why I do like watching those two podcasts that I referred to, because they do a really thorough job of like putting their thoughts together. But my whole thing is just that, especially when it comes to suffering, it is a choice. Like we have to realize everything in life is a choice, and we are our own saviors. Like people get very shifty when I say that we are God, but we've known that we are the reflections of God. And so it's like you're dishonoring God by dishonoring yourself. And I really wish people looked at it more like that, because if they did, then it would be more cut and dry of like, oh shit, like I'm I'm creating these problems. Um and I think the last thing I'm going to say and leave it there is one of the biggest scams that like the corporate world got us to believe is that we're like equally competing towards something. And it's like, no, nobody starts off at the same spots in the race, and nobody has the same end goals. And on top of that, like you not using your power, your energy goes somewhere. So that 8 to 10 hours that you're spending at somebody else's facility goes to them, because now what happens at the end of the day when you have your own responsibilities to take care of, nobody's going to do it. So I just say these things to hopefully motivate somebody to stop being so small-minded about their life and about their self. Especially for myself, I already like determined maybe like a month or two ago that like I have no shit, since I was a kid, I have determined that I have no choice but to be successful. But more recently, I'm like, I have to go outside and get it. Like, nobody's gonna give it to me. Nobody's gonna be like, hey, do you want this cherry? Like, no, go for it. Go learn something. Go look for something. Go try something. Like, especially my mentor had got on me about this yesterday. She was just like, girl, you live in New York City. What are you doing? Like, the world is literally your oyster. Like, you don't know where you'll end up at the end of the day if you just go outside and start talking to people. And it's hard for me, I will say, because like that is my career. That is my like that's my job, is to talk to people, and I'm not gonna make money if I don't learn how to like talk to people and put myself out there. Granted. But also like the world is yours. Like, closed mouths don't get fed. Like, you can do everything that you think you can do, but you also can't do everything that you think you can't do. So that's just like growing up, my mom, she used to never let us say like can't, stupid, or I think like shut up, because those things are spells. Like, people don't like to consider all of the things they do on a daily basis that are ritualistic. Everything that we do on a daily or consistent basis is ritualistic. And the sooner you realize that, the sooner you'll get your